Review a subset of the VoCaBiT Classroom's functionality. VoCaBiT Classroom App, abbreviated VoCaBiT, utilizes gamification to help students master English vocabulary from the third grade through graduate school. Language learners have access to 34 translations. Professionals and trivia enthusiasts can easily insert their own repository of terminology. Visit VoCaBiTclassroom.com homepage for more detail. We have just downloaded VoCaBiT, and now during the start process, we will now press on the screen just to initiate the setup. Press OK. Here it's stating the setup is complete. Press OK. Now will we restart VoCaBiT? Press on VoCaBiT icon. Here you can see the VoCaBiT has been gamified, and the whole objective is to help build our skill set around the use of vocabulary. Let's pick a game and let's play bingo first. Press bingo, and as you can see there are several levels to the game. It starts in the 3rd, 4th grade level, and in this screen you can see it's 5th grade, 6th grade, and combined 7th and 8th. Let's press level, and you can see it has 9th and 10th grade, 11th and 12th, ACT and SAT exercises, and it even has a graduate level for GRE. And then there's a special library section which allows users to add their own set of vocabulary depending on an area that they have an interest in. Let's go ahead and press on 11th and 12th grade. First screen that comes up allows us to go out to a tutorial, and I advise that you do that. But also on this screen allows us to pick the languages that we would like to participate in as we study vocabulary. The target language is the one that we're going after. So if we're coming from another country and we have a different native language, we may want to be studying English. So we'll click on English. And what is our native language? Let's say it's French. Press continue. And here it's stating that it has set up a new ID for us. And our new ID is Blue Hawk. Press start. And now it's gathering the information and creating folders for that 11th and 12th grade selection we made. And as you can see at the top of the screen, there are 608 words in that folder. And this folder of 608 words has been broken up into several subfolders. And they have a collection of about 50 words each for each of the folders. Let's click on the first folder, as you can see reflected by the owl at the top. And here are all the words that are contained in that folder for that first set of vocabulary that we'll be using in the game. So we can scroll through, and if there's a word that we're not familiar with yet, and we want to get an overview before we start the game, we can press and hold it, and it'll give us the definition. So when we're finished looking at that, we'll press OK. And now we're ready to start the game, so we'll press start. Here we're stating we have a new game, and that we want to use auto. So we want the selection of the bingo chips to be called by the computer, so we'll press auto. And now we're ready. So we'll press the blue button that has the word pick on it.
Select marker 20.
And so it wants us to find marker 20. And I don't have my glasses on, but there's 20 right underneath the word free. Press it. First thing it's asking us to do is to find one of these 3 words within that cluster of letters up above. We will take a guess and we'll pick the 3rd one down, derange, and press next. So we got that one correct. And here all it's asking us to do is to pick either a background color or a foreground color. And the foreground color was red, and we were timed out on that. So everything is on a clock. And now it wants us to pick the definition for derange, and that one's pretty obvious, it's B. So we got that correct. Let's press next to go on and get another word. So you can see we did get that one correct. So we'll press the blue button again.
Select marker 16.
16. is, okay, over on the right hand side, click 16. Again, it takes us through that same series, so we're going to try to find, so it was correct, so habitat, press next. Foreground or background, foreground's gray, and that's correct. And habitat, let's try B. Okay, so that was correct. And go to next. So you have the idea of this, so let's
Select marker 12.
intentionally get some wrong. And first we got to find the marker, and again everything is timed. We'll just take a shot at this and got that one correct. And the foreground here is red. We'll use yellow. And let's take a look. We're an English language learner, right? So we're going to take a look at what the French references are. And we'll go back to English. And we timed out, so the right answer there was C. Now we can turn off the timer for these since we're not really proficient yet in the English language. So here we press the I at the top right, and you can see turn off definition timer. So we'll click that. Now we're ready to go to continue the game. Press next. And
Select marker 7.
marker 7. Okay, on the left side, clicked. We're just going to pick anything. So I got that one wrong. Okay, so you can see that composure was the right one. Press next, and we'll get this one wrong too. We did. And we can look at ESL again, or we can listen to it.
The word or phrase is composure. Option A, steadiness of mind under stress. Option B, pulled or drawn tight.
As you can see, we try to give a little time for the person to read.
Option C, a formal written offer to sell securities, filed with the SEC, that sets forth a plan for a proposed business enterprise. Make your selection.
So we'll just press A. Okay, so we got that one correct. So hopefully you have the idea of how the game operates. And we will go back now. And we'll do a save quit. And let's open it again. Press on VoCaBiT, top right. And this time we'll pick 3D VoCaBiT toe, and that's in the center. And this time we will take 9th and 10th. Okay, we're going to keep the same languages so we don't have to make any changes there. You can see it's still English as the target, and the native is French. So we'll just press continue. And press start again for who we are. Goes out, collects the data. And there are 980 words in this cluster, or this configuration, and they're broken up into 50-word clusters. So let's click on that first cluster, and again you can see all of the words that make that up. Now if the icon was red, it would show there that I had played this game before and I got the answer wrong. And if it was white, I played the game before and I got that answer correct. I'll show you an example in a moment. Let's press start. And here we're going to start a new game. And we're going to have one player playing against the computer. If you have not played three-dimensional X and O's, again, there's a demo button. And it's turned on. And that allows us then to take a closer look at how this game is played. So if we had a piece at A1, it shows that we have scoring in those different directions that you see, the greenish blue lines, either diagonally or vertically, and that's hard, and also horizontal. If we had one in A6, you can see that the scoring options fall in that place. Let's go down to C1, and you can see the scoring options there. And obviously the position that you want is B5, because you can score in all those various options under those options. So let's press turn off the demo, and now we're ready to start the game. Let's pick A3. And here it's going through the same scenario that you just reviewed. So it's asking us to pick a word, one of those three words within the cluster. I got that one wrong. Now it's asking us for the background color. I'm going to press the background color, and I got that correct. And we're going to take a look at this in my native language of French, and then go back to English, and the answer there is A. And I timed out on that, so remember, you can go back if you're an English language learner, and you can turn that definition and timer off, so that when we go back and play again, as you can see, I got that wrong. Let's take A7 and see if I can find one of those three. Let's just pick and I got that correct. And it's asking for the background color. I got that correct. And we're going to just pick any one here. Okay, so I got that wrong. So you can see I got the computer one twice there. So I'm sure you have the idea now. We will now turn that off. And now we'll take a look at the build of a personal database and what's involved in that. Let's just click on flashcard, so we'll keep it simple for this journey. And we will click on the red icon for Library Master. And go back in under our name of BlueHawk, press Start. Here you can see that the file room has 5 file cabinets. These have not been utilized yet, as you can see by the names. So let's click on Cabinet F to build one. Here it gives us an opportunity to build the cabinet either using a keyboard and naming all of the drawers in the cabinet itself and related folders, or we can import a previously developed cabinet. So let's hit import. And here are a series of cabinets that have been established over time. And let's scroll down and pick this one that has Berkeley. And it's loading the file cabinet. I'll press OK. As you can see in the bottom left, it did load a cabinet called Berkeley University. There were tabs already created for each of the drawers, medical, mental health, and so on. So let's click on the medical. And there was a folder also created in that bundle called medical terminology. So let's click on it. And here we have an opportunity to add 3 activities to that folder. So let's click on the first subfolder there for activity 1, and we're going to add a new activity. And there are several databases that we had sent in previous times. So here's one with medical terminology, part 1. So let's click and hold it, and it's loading the database. And in there are 301 words, as you can see at the top, in that first cluster for that database. And I'm sorry, there are 300 words overall in part 1. The first cluster has 50 words, just as we had in the previous look at the academic terms or vocabulary. Let's click on the first set. Here are the prefixes and post that this person has said that they need to master. And if there's one before we start the game we want to click on, we can do that and get a preview just to refresh our memory. And when we're ready to start, we can just press start. And here we're just using flashcards, as we said before, so we'll press start. And here it's asking for what's the color, and the background color is black. I pressed it. And here it's asking for, as you can see at the top, CYPO. And we're supposed to know the meaning of that, and I don't, so I'm going to just take a guess, and I did great. So it's B. And we'll go to next, and then it's asking for the foreground, and that's gray. And epi is the term, and I have no idea. So I'll click here and press next. So you get the idea that the user can add their own information. Everything's still on a clock, as you can see, and we can. This concludes our overview on VoCaBiT Classroom. Please visit VoCaBiTclassroom.com for more detail.